unpopular opinion in the professional world. The formula for success is not hustle, success, and then joy. Instead, flip the script. It's actually joy, play, and then success. We are constantly told that in order to succeed, we need to hustle, grind, and sacrifice our happiness, and then maybe, just maybe, joy will follow. But what if we have that backwards? Today, I really want to challenge that mindset and instead think, what if empowerment, joy, satisfaction in our current state is what's going to provide us the success that we're looking for? If we came at it from a place of play and creativity, success will follow. Now, this might sound completely crazy and anti the typical playbook of what success in this modern world looks like. And that might be a good thing because let's face it, this modern world is leaving us sicker than ever, overworked. There's a loneliness epidemic. Yes, there is a loneliness epidemic, according to the Surgeon General. How is it that in a world where we are more connected than ever, have the ability to fly anywhere or meet with anyone from around the world, we are feeling lonelier? And what's the point of being on this planet if we're not fully connected to ourselves and connected to others, and then creating wonderful systems and businesses that provide more value from that state of... Then there's another thing, entrepreneurship and the career success that we envision in today's society often comes with hustle, work hard, push, push, push. And then once you get that promotion or once you get that funding or once you go public, you'll feel successful. You'll feel valuable. You'll feel like you've actually made it. And then you'll feel worthy, and people will then recognize you as being smart and wonderful and accomplished and, respectable. God, that's so backwards. So in my journey as an entrepreneur, growing our climate tech startup, Nori, over those 7 years, it was I remember many different podcast interviews I've done over the time. And the thing I kept often saying in like a end of the podcast question was like, what advice do you have? Or like, how is the journey going? Is entrepreneurship is a spiritual journey. And it was absolutely a spiritual journey for me. And the key lesson that I learned that I wish I could, impart and share with others in a way that would really land. Like if you watch this video, they've actually sat in your body, but it won't because you'll have to go through the experience yourself. The key there is to understand that the feeling of being enough, the feeling of abundance, the feeling of worthiness comes first, because it will never come unless you feel it now. The success you're imagining, that a state of, hey, I took this amazing new AI startup public and we've made billions of dollars, for example, and I'll feel so much better about myself then. It's actually really, really not true. That I can guarantee you. And through this spiritual journey for me that was very much braided and tied into my entrepreneurial journey, I started to read a lot of books from spiritual leaders like Eckhart Tolle and Michael Singer and I listened to so many Esther Abraham Hicks videos on YouTube and Dr. Joe Dispenza's work on the placebo effect and how to break the habit of being yourself. And there's one thing that is consistently clear, is that you need to be present in your body in this moment. Let that energy flow through. And I know this might sound very woo-woo-y, very hippie, but if you let that to happen and be present, you'll recognize that in this moment, you are enough. And what ends up happening is the energy that you're in shifts. For example, let's just take an example where a bad day at the office. So you wake up and you're really tired because you just, for whatever reason, you couldn't sleep last night and you were just tossing and turning. And then, your alarm goes off and you've got 2 investor meetings, you've got a sales team meeting, you've got a leadership team meeting. Oh, and you have to provide a whole new asset, like a whole new pitch deck and a whole new proposal for a key client. And you probably should go to the gym and eat well. It's just too much for you to do in one day. So you get up and you're already feeling overwhelmed because you have way too much on your plate for this one, let's say 24-hour day. And you're already tired because you didn't sleep last night because you were running through the list in your head. So you show up to that leadership team meeting, and then what happens? Well, you're not really listening or paying attention to what your colleague is saying, who is probably giving you some really good feedback or what's going on with that part of the business. because you're running through the list of things that are going on, or you're just wanting them to move quickly. You're looking at your phone or your Apple Watch, you're checking Slack, thinking, okay, what if I added this thing to that proposal? Oh, I've got the sales team meeting, etc. What ends up happening is this cycle of you showing up to meetings, the sales team meeting, your investor meetings, and you're not really present because you're feeling frazzled. There's always something next to you. And it just cycles like a negative cycle that you just cannot break. And that's all it is. These are negative cycles that we need to break. And so what I love to do is to draw out those cycles. What is a pattern of how I'm actually showing up every day? And put them on sticky notes, and I arrange them in a circle, and I say, where can I break this pattern? So for example, in that morning, instead of thinking through the list of things I have to do, take 15 minutes to sit down on my meditation mat and just count my breaths and allow myself to feel fully present in that moment and feel like, hey, what if there is an abundance of time? What if I had all the time in the world to do all the things I need? And what if there wasn't enough resources where it's like some of the things that I think I have to do, I could trustingly delegate it to someone else, allowing myself to shift my energy at the beginning of the day. Then what happens? I show up to the leadership team meeting. And yes, I know I've got a lot of things listed on my to-do list, but now when my colleague is sharing with me the insights he has for what we should change about his part of the business or on his team, I think, hey, that's really relevant. And that's a great insight. That has direct correlation to our sales output. And I can share this insight with the sales team when I join their meeting later. And then when I'm doing my investor pitch or having my investor meeting, what ends up happening is I'm thinking, oh, now I can share this insight with the investor because I brought it up in a question. So everything starts to spiral upwards instead of spiraling downwards. And I promise you, if you can just break this cycle, the one that keeps you spiraling in the same circle, further downward, further tired, further burnt out, with less and less time, you will not feel the success that you feel. Instead, take a moment to recognize the pattern that's happening and shift your energy, shift your actual beliefs. You do have enough time. Do have enough joy in your life. This is like we are spinning on this planet around the sun. There's no other sentient life that we know of yet. It is an incredible, remarkable thing that we are here today. Let's never lose sight of that. And if you could recognize that and feel the joy of the life that you have today and find the joy of creating business that you're creating now, wanting to build this impact and a new climate tech startup, a new AI technology that will revolutionize how we interact with each other and improve our lives and maybe actually feel a little less lonely. That's the whole point. So I really invite you all to think about how do we flip the script, reverse the formula, feel abundantly successful and wonderful with enough time, enough resources, enough energy that then you feel playful. How do you feel worthy of being respected? Actually, how do you feel respected today? How do you feel valuable today? How do you feel worthy today? I promise you, how you show up today or tomorrow with that mindset will change. And if you do that consistently, man, it's going to spiral upwards. You're going to get to where you want to go. And if this one startup that you're working on doesn't pan out, it doesn't mean you didn't move forward. It doesn't mean that your colleagues didn't learn something. It doesn't mean that the world didn't get a positive impact from the work that you did. It was all part of the journey. And yes, you can be successful without burning out. Well, stay tuned for more videos from me. If you have any examples within your own professional and career and entrepreneurial journeys where you were able to first get into this feeling of feeling completely abundant, completely successful, and prioritizing that and allowing that to then unfold and manifest the business success, the career success that you were looking for, please share it with me. I would love to hear your stories and maybe share it online. Until next time, have a great day.